When you think about what agent is the worst one in the game, you'd probably think about someone like Yoru or Phoenix. But if you would start to look at the win rates of all the agents, you'd be surprised, as it happens to be the agent with the highest average assist rate in the game, which is Kayo, as he has a win rate of only 45.9%. This specific number was taken from Blitz, where in Immortal 1 and Act 2, over 120,000 games were played with Kayo, meaning the sample size is big enough to take the win percentage serious. And it wasn't only in Immortal 1 where this was the case, as at basically every rank in the game, Kayo's win rate is below 50%, unless you go all the way back into Iron, where they apparently do know how to play Kayo. Which raises the question, why is Kayo this bad? When looking at the stats for Kayo, you can quite quickly see that the main thing he has going for him are the assists, as he has the highest assist rate out of any agent and is quite far ahead of the other initiators. This is mostly because of Kayo's supportive utility. His null point is easy to use and will give you an assist if anyone is killed while they're suppressed. Kayo's flashes also allow you to farm assists, as you can get an assist up to 3 seconds after you blood in an enemy. And Kayo's ultimate works the same way as his knife. But in my opinion, even though you can get Maddie, these assists are worth a lot less than other agents are able to get. Like a Sova Dart or a Breach Stun, as these abilities are actually able to help your teammates win fights easier, while suppressing your enemy with a KO knife or ultimate rarely makes a difference. But trying to get assists with KO is still very important, as you can see that higher ranked players on average have more assists per game than lower ranked players. But the value of KO's assists can't be enough of a reason for KO's terrible performance in ranked. So we're also gonna have to look at KO's combat performance. When you look at the KD for all the agents in the game, you instantly see a pattern of all the duelists and chamber here on the right side, and all the sentinels, controllers and initiators on the left. When you look at this group on the left, even though KO is close to the rest, he definitely does stick out. On average, he gets the third lowest amount of kills per match, only being ahead of Breach and Sage. And if you don't look at Jet Raze or Neon, on average he even has the most deaths per game, almost 16. Which makes you wonder how an agent has a strong flash allowing him to get kills, a nade that does the same, and an ultimate that allows the agent to be aggressive without adding another death to the scoreboard, have such a terrible KD. Kayo's left click flash is one of the hardest to use in the game, being the only one where you really need lineups if you don't want to blind your entire team, with an exception of maybe the Euro flashes, but of course with the nature of throwing these flashes either far or high, it's kinda hard for a Kayo to capitalize on it himself, leaving a right click throw as the primary way for Kayo to get kills, but with the right click throw only blinding enemies for a maximum duration of 1.25 seconds, and with an unequipped delay of 0.85 seconds, making these flashes quite easy to play against. All these things really make me wonder how I was able to outperform the agent compared to the average. My KD is higher than average, but this couldn't be because of the flashes, as I usually use them more in a supportive manner for my teammates rather than for myself. The KD and in extension the ACS is probably just because of my general playstyle and not because of my utility usage. But the main reason why I think my win rate on KO is higher than the average is the way I use the knife. When playing defense I always use an early knife to get info on either side of the map. This allows you to find out if the enemies are for example stacking on one side of the map, allowing your team to be aggressive on the other side, or allow your teammates to rotate to help. When you catch 3 or 4 of them, it also stops your enemies from rushing, as they have to wait until their utility is back online. When on the attacking side it can help you get info, like for example if the enemies are stacking a side, or it can use either your ultimate or knife to help your teammates push a side with for example a Viper or a Cypher on it, who would otherwise be very tough to push off. These tips may allow you to play KO a bit better, but it's not enough. Even if in pro play KO is used effectively, in ranked in over millions of games, KO's win rate is still well below 50%, meaning he is unbalanced and needs changes. I'm not sure how they would change him, as a small buff to for example his flashes wouldn't feel like enough, but if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments.